Good morning. Well, that's not exactly what I expected. Let's try this again. Maybe? There we go. Good morning. Happy Sunday. And then if you celebrate, happy Father's Day. Actually, that's gonna be one of a couple reasons why I'm probably gonna have a slightly shorter stream today. Gotta go do something. Get a Father's Day gift, call my parents, say hi. I got a bunch of other chores I need to do. I want to make sure that there's plenty of time for me this afternoon. So, probably gonna only end halfway early, maybe around 10 o'clock or so. We'll see. We'll see. So where did we leave off last time? So on Friday we were just getting everything working. And I want to see if I can recreate that again. So inside of here, we have, right, we're going to go into Screeps Arena, and if I do right, here's that Screeps Arena that we created. So if I start it again, oh right, its command was bin bash. So I want to see, okay, if I remove that, and I recreate it again, I'm not going to override the command this time. And we're going to take away that IT because it's not needed. And I want to see if this runs any better than like the previous ones. And maybe it will stay up and just sort of be watching. Or no, this one just builds it once and then exits, doesn't it? I think that's what happens. All right, the first time we do this, it rebuilds and it takes everything. There it goes. Okay, so it ran, it copied, it compiled. Okay, so everything is good. Now, if I run this again, actually, if I just do a start again, so if I do a Docker start Screeps Arena, it's a little bit hard to tell if it actually did the thing. I want to open up here. Okay, let's head into alpha, capture the flag. Let's actually just remove all of these things and then rerun this. So I just want to run start. Hey, and there it goes. Okay, so it recompiled and it did all that stuff. It does it super fast now because it's just a new compilation. So I can now use Docker. So Docker? No. We're gonna do cargo watch on all the files that are local here. So cargo watch. So there's cargo command to execute on changes, or shell command, whether or not it's a -x or a -s. Okay. So I would want to do I guess in this case, it's going to be a shell command because I want to run this. So we're going to do cargo watch -s and then run Docker start Screeps Arena in the shell after it's done. Okay. And I don't think there's anything else we need to do, so I run that. Okay, so you ran. If I make a change here, like we come into source, I just add a bunch of spaces, hit save, and it goes ahead and reruns that. Okay, so excellent. So now I have this auto rebuilding and recompiling. Now this is going to Screeps, let's see, capture the flag. Can I, so that's step one, right? Okay, so I lost the pack, lost that. Let's go to my project. All right, so we've now created our Docker file. Okay. Sort of like lost a bunch of these, I guess. Did I like edit not save the update? That would have sucked. Okay, so yeah, there's so much that I did to this Docker file. So basically, I don't think I need these steps. For the first video, at the very least, it's an introduction to what is Screeps, how to get started. So fork and clone this repo, set up the Screeps.toml file, set your destinations, run the container docker run -n Screeps Arena. Okay, so give it the volume. Okay, so then that goes to my volume there, it goes to Screeps Arena latest. Okay, so that's fine. Then we run, okay, then it's Screeps Arena latest, so that's fine. Set up auto running with command, install cargo watch, and then it's cargo watch -s, docker run, docker start, Screeps Arena. Okay, then it's kind of boring though, right? Because we haven't actually done anything. So the last thing that I will want to sort of like figure out before I decide to record anything or not is what can I do for getting like the tutorial. I'd love to like to add something in to like deploy to the tutorial, and I don't know if I can do that or not. So we have this Screeps.toml here with this branch. We have these different types. So I kind of wonder, can I add my own type? So let's do like tutorial 1. Destination is going to be, so if we come here and we take a look, destination is going to be this, one of these tutorials. Let's actually open up. Let's open up Screeps and take a look. Loop and import is the first one. And so I can actually look down here in the bottom right. So it's tutorial, looks like it's tutorial dash loop and import. This one right here. Okay, so that's going to be, oh, sorry. Destination is actually this. Prune means remove everything from there first. branch. Okay, branch is the loop and import. Now, okay, so ctf.build, swamp.build, collect.build, these are exactly the same thing as these other ones. So I'd probably do tutorial 1.build, extra options equals okay, features. Now, this is going to be interesting. Can I just like create a new feature and just use it? Is that just going to work? So let's do arena tutorial loop and import. That looks appropriate here. So coming back to our main library, so we have this arena capture the flag here, and we're not really doing anything. So if I replace this with you, so now you're going to be built on loop and import. And then I also want to see this Docker file. Okay, so you're rebuilding here. I want to stop the Docker watch. I want to look at the logs. I guess the Docker watch is okay. We'll although I'll be starting it again with something else. So in the Docker file we have, okay, this command is cargo screeps deploy -m capture the flag. So I'm gonna want to switch this to manually override it to a different command. Okay, which is gonna be this tutorial 1, I believe. That's the -m ctf is going to become tutorial 1. I think that's how it's going to work. And then over here, we should expect, if we cd into tutorial loop and import, we just have this main.mjs. I expect this to be replaced by a new main.mjs and then those two codes. So like code.js and code.wasm. And then also the date should be changed quite significantly. So let's run this and see what happens. We're gonna do a I can't start it again, so we're gonna have to remove that one. So remove cargo, docker remove. Okay, so we're gonna do a docker run. I think for this one, I'm gonna do a rm until we know that it actually works. And then our command here. So it's gonna be cargo screeps deploy -m tutorial 1. Starting container process cause exec cargo screeps deploy -m. Executable file not found in path origin. Really? Well, okay, so Docker is running. All right, let's try a overwrite. Okay, so here I am at bin bash. I should be able to do a Docker cargo. Cargo Screeps deploy -m. All right, so if I do capture the flag, everything should still work, right? It's gonna do the rebuild because it's a new container. I wonder if it didn't like the quotes. I wonder if I don't need those at all. Okay, so that worked to capture the flag mode. So now if I want to do this to tutorial 1. Okay, so package Screeps Arena BB. So that's mine, right? /code. Is that what I called it? Screeps Arena -BB. I did, okay. Features, okay, so we have to add you. What is this for? Screeps Arena Game API. Capture the flag. So if I use this as a tutorial and I do something like that, is that like other features required? I'm not sure, but okay. Does this register a feature to be used? Let's try it again. Ooh, okay, so that might have been good enough. Let's head back over here. Hey, and it got replaced. Okay, so this is the tutorial loop and import, and it got replaced. So set auto running with the command. Yes, this is good. Okay, so the next step would be build for tutorial. So add feature to, okay, so we need to add a feature to the cargo.toml. We need to add feature to Screeps.toml. I don't know if we need to sort of like add the feature into the code, but that should be fine. And then we just like run it, right? So like run, like build in Docker container. Okay, so there's that. And then I do want to make sure that this works. So let's head in here and actually start. So loop and import. What do they want us to do? There's a special function get ticks that you can call to determine what is the current tick now. In order to call it, you have to import it into your code. Of course, this is all JavaScript telling you how to do stuff, which is fine. Okay, so in the first step, the tutorial, we don't have any game objects and the game map is completely empty. All you have to do to complete the step is to use console.log in your loop function to output some information to the console. Simply copy and paste the code above. So they want you to have like this current tick, colon, and then grab the tick information. So let's see if we can do that. So that's going to be under in our main library. We don't have any of this stuff here. So we actually have this get ticks, as it were. We have to do the setup. So if tick equals 1, we run our setup here. And then if it's this loop and import, I want to now print out. I want to print out the what that tick is, right? So I want current tick colon and then probably space and then the ticks. So we can do something like let our message or like our log we can use format. Maybe a little bit too large. All right, so formats have current tick. And then I just want this, just use that tick there. That should be fine. And then we'll use this warn macro. To send out the log, which should be fine. So if we recompile this, so we just do another deploy like that, that failed. Full command, cargo build, target, features. I don't see an error in here. We're using the feature. It's exited with a 101. Oh, wait, here, up here. I was looking down here at this error, completely missed this one. Cannot find macro warn in this scope. Okay, so import warn from log. Now there's no more errors. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay, so redeployed. Let us come back to the game. We'll hit play. Module not found. These are Screeps Arena. Right, we ran into this before. So somewhere inside. Let's see, where was that? I don't think it goes in here. Screeps at Tommel. I don't think there's anything like user in here that we have to set. I believe that the output. Okay, so we have this main.mjs, which is okay. So that's where it's pulling from. It's from Screeps Arena. The package. You're not requiring anything strange in here, are you? No. Okay, so I vaguely remember us running into this before. Module I found. User Screeps Arena. So they're copying our code over onto their servers and then executing it. And so it's trying to find this /user Screeps Arena, which we can see here. This. Okay, it's trying to grab this this file, Screeps Arena. If we look in here, we have this m.mjs here. Do I need this to be main? Pull from main? Let's try that. The requested module main does not provide an export named loop. Okay, yes, so that's. I do have this loop here. So that's not right. Is it not main? Wait, okay. Oh, export start from main. It's exporting from itself. If I do this one, probably has a loop in it, I bet. Somewhere in here. Okay, so I need to export from code. All right, let's build this again. Hey, and that worked. Okay, so if we run this and take a look, we now see our Screeps Arena BB, current tick 1. Excellent. Okay. And it like that. So I'm thinking we should probably just like go start over with the tutorial and go on everything. So what do we do there? This main.mjs. So we have to switch this to code. So set by run command, the tutorial. So add a feature before we build, and that we also need to change import target in main.mjs. Is it MJS? It is MJS. And then that will be essentially tutorial number 1. We'll be done with that. Okay. So I think that's everything we need. Hello, Stacking. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I do want to remove a bunch of sort of like the extra stuff that we don't need here. So I don't think we need this, our capture the flag folder, the creep types, the logging we absolutely need, the live.rs we absolutely need. Everything else we do not. I'm going to go ahead and delete those. So we just have lib. You're not going to need to pull in any of these things. We do need this warn. Why are you... Why are you upset? Unused warn. Is this risk analyzer freaking out again because I just deleted a bunch of stuff? Possibly. Okay, so Screeps Arena game, use that stuff, mod logging, we have our function set up. We have all this stuff. I would imagine now if I try to rebuild this, it's gonna error out because I don't, yeah, it can't find warn in this scope. What a surprise. Use warn. And now you rebuild. Okay, excellent. Okay. So let's try. Let's see, what else do I need? Okay, so you're good here. Target, Toml. All this stuff is good. And our Docker file is all set up for us. Okay, so I'm gonna close all of you down. And I'll go ahead and make a commit to this, but I'm going to merge this back into main. So this is going to be working with tutorial 1. Oh, I didn't even publish this branch. That's fine. So okay, so now I have all of these things pulled down. I'll push that up. That should be fine. Git branch, delete, discovery. Okay, so we're good there. Rest analyzer. Just go ahead and restart for reasons. And let's also open. That doesn't open up the repo. Oh, that's too bad. Let's see. Have I heard of Shuttle RS? Seam Griffin has just told me about it yesterday. It looks pretty cool. No, I don't think I have. Is that a crate or is it just shuttle? Stateful serverless for Rust. Shuttle is a web application platform that uses traits and annotations to configure your backend deployment, including databases. So is it like configuring like everything together, sort of like a Docker Compose type thing? They're trying to be a Lambda, and they wrap around all the popular frameworks. Oh, okay, got it. So they're literally gonna host like infrastructure behind the scenes for my stuff to run in. Interesting. Yeah. This could be interesting to look into. It's in alpha right now. What are their pricing? $0 or let's talk. So team size of 1, okay. Unlimited deployment, 5 projects, 150,000 per month requests, 1 worker, 500 megabytes database storage, 1 subdomain, no custom domains. Interesting. Okay. The alpha is a little bit like disconcerting for like running a business off of, but for like a personal project, this would probably be great. Especially a way to sort of like experiment and see like, hey, what's coming up? Because if they do succeed and they get to like a full release, then just sort of knowing everything about how it works, that could be pretty good. Sort of like get in at the beginning. So let's add in a check out shuttle.rs. I don't know why I'm not telling you to be in backlog. Okay, so don't want you. So I just want to hide the field and okay. I guess like all keeps on showing it for some reason. Oh, I wonder if I need to change that up here. Okay, so check out shuttle.rs. This is a sort of like a deployment system like AWS. Lambda / ECS, but supports Rust stuff out of the box. So cool. We'll add that in here, and we'll take a look at that and sometime, someday. Okay, so what was I doing? Back to, okay, so we got you. That worked. We've got all of you. Okay, great. If I don't have that tick running, I wonder what would happen here. I guess we'll just ship with this all being the default with it. Okay, so I want to do a I'll probably do a recording. So let me do, okay, so I've got the recording thing set up there. So I got you. probably want to, let's see, your all this necessary. Oh, I want to go to GitHub and find that Screeps here. Okay, so we'll look at this. Then we'll switch back down to you. We'll have you to look at like where this is. We'll load up, okay, so you to do the loop and import. Oh, also let's show off, because I had to not fork the other one, which was a little bit unfortunate. So let's actually bring in the, what is it, like Rusty, this one. Okay, so also with that one. And I think we're good to go on this. It's gonna, I'm so experimenting with something slightly different. Instead of like trying to do like the start and ending screens here in like OBS, what I'm gonna try to do for this recording is just like a normal, almost like a stream recording, and then afterwards edit it down. And so like some other time go through and just like cut out everything that's like not part of the actual like coding or something else, and see how like time wise if that like crunches it down, almost like we're condensing, or so what's the word for that when we're I can't think of the word for like crunching down, making things smaller. What is that word? What am I thinking of? I don't know. But basically something like that. We are that's like what the plan is going to be. And of course, you're watching here, so you're watching like the full thing, and then we'll see whether or not that is like something I want to pursue for like other tutorials or other types of videos as well. Could be interesting. It is a lot more work, so we'll also see how that is too. But all right, so let's I have over here on my other screen, I actually want to pull up that checklist. So I just have this up. Okay, so then we run it. All right, so I guess this is gonna be like a setting things up and going through and doing that. So that should be fine. Everything's already running, so is that gonna be a problem? Or do I want to pull this down into a different folder and do that? That might work. So in my Docker file, what changes do I need to make? Nothing here, so this should all be fine. Okay, we need to make a change. Oh, I don't think we need to make this change anymore. I think we're fine there. In source for this, I think this is also fine. In cargo.toml, might want to change the name. But besides that, everything seems to be good. Yeah, there's nothing there to do. Oh, so the big one here is going to be the example screeps.toml is going to be changing this one. So you know what I can actually do? I can actually fork this to my personal account and get that working. Let's we can try that. That could be interesting. So all right, let's try this and see what we can see. So I'm going to turn off the music for this one. I've had complaints about like having the music on for the tutorial recordings. For the live streams, I think that makes sense. So turn off you, and then I'll create like the other screens on and off and all that stuff. Cut it out later. We'll see how that goes. So with that, let's just try it. See what happens. Hello and welcome to another video. This time we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Screeps, which is a game that allows you to control your characters, the little creeps, with JavaScript, has now come out with another version called Screeps Arena, in which you face off against another player, and it's a 1v1 match. This is really, really cool. Now, a great thing about this is because they're using JavaScript as a target and they support WebAssembly, it opens up many other languages. And of course, on this channel, we do a lot of Rust. So I wanted to see whether or not it was possible for us to create a program for controlling Screeps with Rust. And, it is. It's not quite as easy as using something like TypeScript or JavaScript because all the documentation is set up for those languages, but it's possible, and I think it's fun to sort of like set up and play around with and try. So for this first video, we're gonna set this up. We're gonna get going. So I have created a repository on my Brooks Builds page called Screeps. Now I'm doing it as sort of like a Screeps because I might one day have another do something more with just like the original game. So until then, we're just gonna have a Screeps Arena folder inside of there. Now a lot of the stuff that I got is actually from this Rusty Screeps Arena starter kit. This is a great repo, and if you just start here and you just skip everything else that I'm talking about just to get going, this works absolutely. The only real difference, and let's see, looking at this, I think that they may not have some of the branches, like they're working on it pretty often and pretty regularly, so the instructions may get out of date slightly, but the general idea should remain the same. I couldn't. I tried to use the forked version, and I'm using GitHub projects, and unfortunately, I can't associate a forked repo with a project. So unfortunately, I just sort of had to go off on my own And that's why this is not a forked from here. All right, so what are we gonna do? Well, I'm gonna start by forking this to my own personal account, and we're just going to grab this. Sure, Screeps run. That's gonna be fine. We'll create this fork. I'm gonna do this to show off how we can use this to get up and at least pass the first tutorial mission. So let's go ahead and clone this down. And this is the wrong branch. I want to actually come over here. CD into mine. Git clone that. All right, we're going to open up VS Code here. Sure, I trust myself. All right, so what do we need to do? First of all, we need to double check the destinations of where the code is going to go. And that's actually going to be here in this example-screeps.toml file. So we're going to first duplicate that. I'm just going to open up a terminal, copy example, copy our example screeps.toml to screeps.toml. Inside of here. Okay, so the destination is going to be a little bit odd. We're going to go into this Docker file to sort of like see where exactly we expect it to go. And this Screeps Arena is it. And the reason for that is because inside of the Docker file is where all of this stuff is going to be executed, which means that it's not local to our branch, it's not local to our system, it's local to what the Docker container thinks is. So I'm going to copy you, come back to here, and we're going to replace all of you with slash Screeps Arena. Prune true just means remove everything from inside of that folder. Branch, alpha capture the flag. Okay, so these are all going to be fine. Branches here correspond to folders inside of what Screeps is looking for. So to find out what those look like, let's come over to tutorial. We'll go to loop and import. And down here at the bottom, you can actually see this script folder. It goes to my home directory, Screeps Arena, and then this tutorial loop and import. If I open up another terminal, cd into Screeps Arena, we can actually see there is that tutorial loop and import. And so that's what it means by branch. Okay, so let's see. We need to create a new sort of feature for this here to sort of work with us. So I'm going to just copy you. And then instead of collect, let's just name this tutorial 1. Destination is going to be the same place. Prune true. Branch. Okay, so that's going to be the name of the folder. So I'm going to come here and copy you into there. Collect.build. It can't be collect.build. This is going to have to be tutorial1.build. So you notice that they're all based upon which sort of feature they're inside here. So when it builds, extra options to add in here, we want to add in not the features Arena collect and control. We're going to go into our cargo.toml, and I've added in an example feature for this. We'll be continuing to add in more of these for all the tutorials, and this is going to be the Arena tutorial loop and import. So change you there. Okay, so our Screeps.toml should be good now. Let's see, our Docker file should be good. And let's see, what else do we need to do? We don't need to do anything in there. The source code is actually fully set up to pass the first tutorial. We'll go into this a little bit as soon as we actually get that running and going. But I think we're pretty much ready to get set up and going with our Docker container here. So you do need Docker installed for this. I'm going to go ahead and run. I'm inside the Screeps Arena, so we're going to run Docker run. I'm going to do -it so I can just interactively go inside the container at runtime and then run the commands there. Later on, once we're maybe even past the tutorial, we can start setting up an auto run, just sort of like every time we make a change, just like run there, get it going. But okay, I'm gonna also set up to -- remove, so it deletes the container as soon as it's as we close out of it. We don't need this up and running for that all the time yet. I don't need like any kind of ports or anything else like that, but we do need to attach the volume. So I'm inside the Screeps Arena where the code is. So I'm going to attach the current working directory. So that would be pwd here. And I want to attach this to /code. And that's going to be this code here. Okay. And then the other one is going to be this Screeps Arena, which I should give that a slash here. Do Docker run code. Oh, you know what? You know what I'm forgetting? We need to build the image first. So the first thing we need to do for this Docker file, we need to build it as an image on our local systems that we could then create containers from that. So as we can see from this, we're going to have our code. We have our Screeps Arena. Those are going to be volumes. We have a command. It's going to try to do capture the flag for us automatically. It's going to install Clang. And it's also going to install some cargo scripts and set all of that stuff up for us at image build time. So that way we don't have to worry about that quite as much. Just a first compile will maybe be a little bit painful each time we create a container, but that's not as bad as everything else. So to create our image, we need to be seeded into Screeps Arena, and we're going to do docker build -t, and then the name of whatever this is going to be. So I'm just going to call this Screeps, just like maybe Screeps Arena. And then dot to tell it where to find the Docker file. Now, for me, this is super fast because I've done this on this system already, and it's cached all of these runs. If you're running this on your computer for the first time, it's going to take a significantly longer amount of time, and that's fine. That should be okay. Okay, so now that we're done with this, I now need to spin up a container from that image. So we're going to do a docker run -- remove. So we just remove the container when we exit out of it. We don't need to keep it up, at least for right now. -it so I can connect into it interactively. I need to attach the volumes. So we're going to do our first of 2 volumes. So that is actually this Docker file. So I want to attach the code, which is everything inside of this Screeps Arena folder. And I am in that folder right now, so I just really need the current working directory. So pwd and send that to /code. And then I want to do another one to /Screeps Arena. And I want this to be this folder here, not the tutorial loop and import, but the folder that contains the cell. So like this Screeps Arena. So I'm actually going to get, just do a PWD and grab you. Head back in to this terminal. So I'm just going to paste you, colon, slash, and I'm just copying and pasting so I don't make any mistakes. And there's that Screeps Arena there. Okay, so -V for code, -V for this Screeps Arena. The last thing would be, what is the name of this? I think we called it just Screeps. So Screeps latest. Automatically, it's all, every time we create a Docker image, it's going to be tagged with latest. We can also tag with something else, but we didn't in this case. And then I want to override whatever command is in there with bin bash. Screeps underscore arena is what we called it. Okay, so let's try this again. Screeps underscore arena latest. But I want to override the command with bin bash. There we go. Okay, so it spun up the new container and dropped me inside in a shell. So at this point in time, I can sort of run whatever I want. If I do an ls, we will see here is all the code that I have over here. Now this is a read-write. It does need to have read-write because when it does compiling, it's going to put things into target, and it's also going to put things into JavaScript here. So let's try compile here. So the way we do that is going to be a cargo Screeps deploy -m and then the name of a deploy strategy, which is going to be this tutorial 1. So I hit that, and the first time that we run this could take a little bit extra here. So it's going to use wasm bindgen CLI to install everything. And the fun part of Rust live streams and just, I guess, Rust programming. Although I'm curious, for all of you who are doing this, are you what do you do during like a long compilation? Are you like going back into your code and sort of like working on that? Do you like pull up a book or an article? Or are you watching like a YouTube video? Do you just stare blankly at the screen and just watch the bits fly by? Let's see. Wasn't pack generated unexpected JS output. It's updated without cargo sweeps. Also having updated. Please report. Uh-oh. Okay, so now we back to this again. We didn't have this problem last time. Let me double check. So inside of LibRS, we have this. We have the feature set up there. I copied the code from the previous one to sort of get this to fix. So doing this again, I don't think will like fix it, right? It'll still be the same thing where it like generates unexpected JS output. One thing we never did is we never looked at this. See whether or not there was an error. I don't see anything specifically like that. How about closed? Cargo web generated unexpected JS suffix? Okay, that didn't seem to do anything here. Um, I also noticed that I had two Docker files. Is there a big difference? Why do I have two? Start the cargo packages. So rest latest, git clone, that cd into it, and that. Oh, wasn't bindgen CLI in this one. Oh, this one doesn't have the wasn't bindgen CLI. Okay, hold on. We need to fix you. Okay, so we're back to this. So it should just magically work now. Okay, so X out of U. Then I need to rebuild this. All right, so I ran into a small problem. I didn't install wasm bindgen CLI in this version of Docker. I don't know if you noticed, but I accidentally had two Docker files. One actually worked, and I don't think the other one is. So right now, what I'm doing is installing wasm bindgen CLI, which I think is going to fix that error message that we just got. Now you notice that everything else cached, and then this one is now installing. It's because this specific combination of images didn't have that, so it's going to go ahead and install it in there. And we're going to see whether or not this solves that error when we get back to it again. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's create the container again. So we'll do our Docker run, pass in code, pass in the Screeps Arena location, go to bin bash. Let's go ahead and just try this again. So we're going to do a cargo Screeps deploy -m tutorial 1. Unexpected JS output. Okay, so that didn't work. These are all, at that point, these are all pretty much the same now. So I'm not certain. Okay, so I don't think it's the Docker files anymore. Now, the source. Do I need to like delete the target? That JavaScript needs to remain package. What if I just delete package and try you again? So it's going to recompile because I just deleted all of its stuff. What I'm not sure about is like when we do the edited version of this is how to do the cut. So should it be like a hard cut? Should I put a transition in it? I've actually seen both in like looking at other tutorials, and like I don't think either of them really bother me. I don't know if I have a preference for like which one I prefer to see as the consumer side. But it's kind of strange because I always thought that I would be bothering somebody if I did some kind of like cuts, but then I'm not bothered by it. So it feels a little bit odd. Hopefully this works. Unexpected JS output again. Okay, so still unhappy. Okay, so you're modified. So you're doing that thing. So package, so this got regenerated. So here's this stuff. We have our code. Oh, this TypeScript. Yeah. I don't know why this is like so upset about this. Last time to get this working, I just copied their code in and then it just started working again, which I wonder if that's some cached like other weirdness problem or like an ownership type thing or permissions. Okay. I want to try this outside of Docker maybe. Do I have cargo? I do have cargo Screeps. Um I don't know if I have the version for Arena, but we're gonna find out pretty quickly. So let's try this. We can do a build first. So if I do a so cargo Screeps build tutorial 1. Now that is the name of this, right? Tutorial 1, yes. Okay. Oh, it doesn't like that. Okay, so let's go find. I actually have cargo Screeps installed. Look, it's like a git cloned. I'm gonna go into here to find it. So I'm gonna cd out one. Let's go into others. We'll go into cargo Screeps. Okay, so I've checked out the branch arena. Okay, so there's no updates to this, and we can install local a cargo sort of like package locally by doing cargo install dash dash path dot, so to tell it like, hey, install it from here. So normally you do something like cargo install, cargo Screeps would go out to crates.io, figure that out, build it, do everything. All right, so replaced package cargo Screeps 0.33 with, and this is behind me, so sorry about that, cargo Screeps 0.4. So now I can do, I can come back to here. We can do a cargo Screeps dash help. Okay. So let's do cargo Screeps build dash m tutorial 1. Oh, maybe it doesn't require that in, okay. How about cargo Screeps build? We'll just do a deploy. Deploy dash m tutorial 1. It's a little bit faster when I'm not running inside of a Docker container. Wasenpack generated unexpected JS output. So that makes me wonder, do I have any like hidden files in here? So like maybe a cargo lock, something weird that it's looking at. So let's try removing cargo lock, keeping the cargo toml, keeping the Docker file. JavaScript file should be fine. I'm going to remove package and target. But besides that, everything should be okay. And then I want to remove rm-rf. Okay, let's try this again. This actually will probably fail because it can't find that directory to go to, I bet. Okay, so WASM package is ready to publish at user books code mine Screeps1 Screeps Arena package. So if you go to package, I see these. I don't see any JavaScript in here, just TypeScript and WASM, of course. It's like no code. I wonder if this is. If I put back to Screeps Arena, I can't imagine that's gonna have an effect here. And then also with you, destination is incorrect. I'm doing this outside of Docker now, just sort of like experiment to see if that's our problem. But it's not. Okay, so we're continuing to get this. Please report this issue and include the first 30 lines of Screeps Arena. So under package. Oh, look at that. Okay. Screeps-arena.js. There is no Screeps-arena.js. There's an orig, but not anything else. So we have our source lib. Interesting. Okay. So I think what I want to do is like start over this. Maybe we'll just say like, hey, here's like how to follow and get going with the Screeps Arena starting kit. And then I'm going to follow along with like something slightly different, but like it's the general idea is the same. And like once you have that going, then it doesn't really matter the rest of it. So I want to restart with a couple things here. So we have this cargo Screeps. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so we'll just start here. All right. So let me close off some of these windows too, so I don't confuse myself. Okay. All right. Let's continue on and try this again. Okay, so to get started with Rust and Screeps, we're going to use this Screeps Arena Starter Rust sort of kit. This is available to us on the Rusty Screeps repo. Just a fair warning, I don't have any affiliation with them, but I did find them and I was able to run this myself in my own code, sort of like set up my own stuff, and it worked just fine. So let's go ahead and show you how I was able to get things going and get like the tutorial hello world working for us. So to begin with, we're obviously going to navigate here, and I'm going to go ahead and clone this down. Now, I've already done that. So heading over to, I have this like code others. I generally put any code that I get from other repositories into this folder structure. Now notice here, I actually did accidentally install the Screeps Starter Rust repo first, and then was very confused when it didn't work at all. And that's just be careful you're getting the Screeps Arena Starter Rust kit. So cd into Screeps Arena Starter Rust. I don't have anything sort of like different here. I'm going to do a get pull to make sure I have the latest. I do. And we're going to open up code here. You can also obviously fork this project to your own repo to make that a little bit nicer. All right, so let's take a look at their README here. So they have some quick start help guide here. They say, okay, we need to install and set up a cargo Screeps, and specifically so that it works with Screeps Arena. Cargo Screeps on its own is a way to build and deploy the code to the normal Screeps game, but of course the new one hasn't been finalized yet. So when it's in a different branch. To install a command into a different branch, it's having us git clone cargo Screeps. I've already done that. So if I cd outside of this Screeps Arena starter Rust, we can go into cargo Screeps. It wants us to check out the Arena branch. I've already done that here. Let's make sure we get the latest version. Then we're going to do this cargo install path dot. And this is going to basically do a normal cargo install for a command. That is very similar to what you would do if you just did a normal cargo install. It would like grab it from crates.io. This -- path tells it to, hey, just don't go to crates.io, install what we have locally here. It's going to take a little bit longer for you. For me, I've already done this, so it just replaced what I already had. Okay. Now, notice this, because the first time I did this, I was sort of like blindly following this along and not really reading the comments out. Don't do this until cargo Screeps have updated. This is just showing that if you now do a cargo Screeps, it will overwrite the one we just created with the one on crates.io. Okay, so next up, we have already cloned the Screeps Arena starter Rust. We need to cd into that. So cd and now they have this checkout Arena, but if I take a look at the branches available to us here, so git branch -a, Arena is not one of those. So I believe that Arena has actually now been merged into the main branch. Configure for uploading. Okay, so we need to copy example-screeps.toml to screeps.toml. And then we need to update that. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at what we have in here. So default deploy mode is capture the flag. Build mode is Arena. This is all fine. Capture the flag, for example. Destination. Okay, so all of these have the same exact thing here. So it's going to be a folder in our system, and this is exactly what Screeps Arena does. Is it sort of like uploads for you from a folder in your on your computer. So I'm going to go find that. In the game here, we have users, Brooks, Screeps Arena, and then this tutorial loop and import. I'm just going to grab all of you. Now, I could just sort of like take one of these. I am going to actually duplicate capture the flag here. And recopy you again. And so destination, I want you to be this. So go to users, Brooks, Screeps Arena, tutorial, loop and import. This is actually the branch. So I'm going to cut you out and put you here in the branch field. So it's the folder. For the rest of these, they're exactly the same actually. So I'm going to go ahead and update you. Okay, so prune true. This needs to be its own one, so I'm going to call this tutorial 1 and replace that there. Extra options, features. Let's go ahead and sure, we'll just have like a features tutorial 1. I think that should be fine. Although we do need to now tell Cargo about this new feature. So we're just going to have tutorial 1 equals and just an empty array there. We don't need to have like anything special with it. Okay, so we have that. Let's go back to our documentation. Okay, so build tool, we can do cargo Screeps help, cargo Screeps build, or then compile plus deploy to the configured CTF mode. So I'm going to come back to here, and we're going to do, let's see if it works on its own. We can try the CTF mode. So if we run this, it's going to install a bunch of things behind the scenes. It's going to compile our code and then copy it into the appropriate directory here. And there it goes. Okay, so it prunes, it removed the previous code that I had in there, and then it copied everything else in. Okay, excellent. So that's good. Now I want to do the one for tutorial. So let's see if that works. Tutorial 1. Hey, it claims that it does work. Now, if I want to go take a look at that and actually just really make sure that it is working as expected, I can cd into our tutorial loop and import, which is the first tutorial here. I'm going to remove main and both of these. So we have absolutely nothing in here. Gonna rerun you. And we have stuff again. Okay, so excellent. So we are correctly compiling and copying files in there. Now let's get this to actually pass and run, or at least something with us. So let's finally take a look at our game code. So we're gonna start with Rust Analyzer is a little bit unhappy, but this should be okay. Oh, and it's figuring things out. Okay, so we have our tick, but that's really loop here. But obviously we can't use loop because that's a reserved name in Rust. Okay, so we use get ticks to grab the ticks and grab the current tick that we're in. If the tick is 1, we run this setup function. Setup function is doing only one thing for us. It is setting up logging for us. So we can use warn to log out, which is going to be nice. So here we can see this warn hello arena and then a tick. Okay, so let info, we get arena info, and then we warn that out too. Strategy. Okay, so then we have this block that's only going to run if we're compiling for arena spawn and swamp. I think we don't really need any of this right now, and we'll go over that all later when we get to it. Okay, so we're going to have get ticks, tick if tick is 1, setup, warn hello arena. Well, let's go in and actually take a look at what loop and import really needs us to do here. So it needs us to, and I'm going to leave this for you to read out fully if you want to. But the gist of this is that it wants us to console log out current tick : and then, well, the current tick. So let's do that. We actually have the current tick here. So I'm going to replace all of you. And we're going to take over this warn, and we're going to say current tick. I don't have any errors. Let's head into our command line and run deploy for tutorial 1. It deploys. Let's head back into the game and hit play and see if this works. Hey, we passed. So if we take a look at it, we're now in current tick. So in the future videos, I'm gonna actually sort of like off screen, I'm going to make this a little bit more my own. I'm gonna move it into my own repo as opposed to just using the cloned Screeps Starter Rust, and then we'll move on to the next tutorial. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. All right, that wasn't the best, and there's probably a lot to cut out in there when we go the wrong path. I still don't understand why that didn't work. Like, why does it work when I clone and fork from starter Rust, but not anything else? I can only imagine there's some weird environment thing that's going on that causes it to have problems. Because it's not just like inside of Docker, it's something else happening. But I don't really know what that is. But okay, I'm glad we've got that out. So I can close you up. All right, so if I want to do simple move, we're going to do the creep move 2 as the next one, right? So I want to now like come back to my older code base. So close you. Okay, so here's my code. I want to make sure that you're still running correctly. So we have that current tick. We have all of you. I would love to have the Docker files running again, like and actually just working. So if I do a Docker run, that should be fine. And then we do a cargo Screeps deploy -m tutorial 1. Okay, everything is happy now. Everything is happy as long as I don't fork and copy this to another folder. It's happy. All right, so we're good to go there. And so then what am I thinking? Oh, right. So we have our library. Basically, I want to bring this thing up to just be what we had before, which is really just I don't need any of this stuff. We just have that warn, right? We have a warn, current tick, like that. Okay, that should be fine. All right, so next up. Let me actually segment. Oh, there it is. So you can be here. That's gonna be fine. Cargo review. Don't need you anymore. Don't need you anymore. This is the new one, so we're good to go here. And we're good to go here. So we're reset. And then going to be reset for tutorial 2. Okay. All right, let's try tutorial number 2 now and sort of see how this goes. Welcome back to Screeps Arena. We're going through the tutorials to sort of get things going with Rust, of course. So tutorial 2 is simple move. Now in this one, the game is asking us to tell a creep to move to another location. Specifically, let's see. What is it asking us to do? Import get objects by prototype. Now this is all JavaScript code again, so it does help if you can read that because all the documentation is like from Screeps is in JavaScript, and then we can sort of like look through that. Okay, so import get objects by prototype. We import a creep prototype, and then we find all of the creeps. In this tutorial, we have set up a flag object that also has its prototype name. Use the move to method to make your creep step onto the flag. Now they have sample code hidden down here, and then they hide it away because they want us to sort of figure this out on our own. So let's go ahead and set things up so we can actually try compiling for it. So to begin with, we're going to go with the exact like sort of same current tick here, but I'm going to add in, let's see, so we want in Screeps.toml. I'm going to copy tutorial 1, go into tutorial 2. That's going to now be another branch. That branch is going to be, what do we call it? Simple move? Simple move. So tutorial simple move. Okay, so that's you. This is tutorial 2 now. Build, extra options, features, arena tutorial, loop and imports. This is now simple move. I wonder if actually I want to just have this be like arena tutorial. We'll just keep it like more specific for this for right now. That should be fine. But that does mean I need to now go in and add this in as a feature for our cargo.toml. Sort of like I'm just sort of following the patterns of what we had elsewhere already given to us. Okay, so there we are with that. Next up, I want to build and deploy this. and it should fail because we're obviously not moving our creep. But I want to make sure that it like is working in general. So we're going to do deploy to cargo tutorial 2. Okay, so it built and ran. If we come back to here and I hit play, I should expect this to say it failed. If we watch the replay, there we go. Okay, we get our current tick. But our creep is clearly not moving. So now we can make this past. This is sort of like red green refactoring with a little bit of TDD built in there. It's just like not an automated test necessarily, although kind of sort of. It's just more of we have a end goal in mind, a test, so to say. We need to make it working now. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to grab all of our creeps using that get game object. So what I want to do is let's actually let's throw these into their different sort of sections here. So that way it will work, and we're going to use that that sort of feature idea. So config predicate. What did they use here for that? It was the Rusty Screeps. Oh, I want to go to it's the Rust Screeps Arena starter. I want to go remind myself how they set this up. It was just this config feature equals. So something like this inside of the tick here. So config feature equals, and I'm just going to use this. Feature for loop and import. And this goes in a block here. So basically, we're only doing that cargo tick. It's only going to compile if we're doing this, if this is our feature. So then we have another one here. So feature equals, I want you to be this one. Okay, arena tutorial, simple move. All right, so what are we doing here? We want to grab all of the, I want to grab all of the, what is it called? All of the creeps, and then all of the flags. And we need to use that using that get objects by prototype. So if I do let creeps equals get objects by prototype, this is one of the nicest things about doing it in Rust is that type system helps out so much here. So get objects by prototype takes in a prototype. So we have prototypes, and I want creep. And this is going to get me a, are you going to tell me? I lost my, okay, it's going to be a vector of this creep. So you don't seem to know. I wonder if Rust Analyzer is a little bit upset with this right now. That does tend to happen with a lot of this sort of type of code. There's some macro type things in there, but it's a little bit upset. Also, I wonder if maybe it doesn't know if we're in this feature and so is not checking my code for me. Not completely sure there either. But okay, so we would have a vector now of creeps, so we can loop through them. We also need our flags. So let flags equals get objects by prototype, prototypes flag. Now I want to take my creeps. Now we know that there's only one creep on here and it's ours. So we can just grab the first one, right? So we can just do, give me the first, because it's a vector, right? So give me the first and unwrap that. And that should give us my creep. And we can do the same thing with flags. So give us the first and unwrap that. Then I want to tell the creep to move to the other, well, move to where we're going. So we'll do creep dot move to, and there's gonna be flag. And let's see if this works for us. I'm gonna go ahead and run this with tutorial 2. Expected, 2 arguments with move to here. So Rust Analyzer is definitely a little bit unhappy. Let me try restarting Rust Analyzer, seeing if that's gonna help us out a bit. I can also remove the feature flag here because it might be not checking it at all. Let's try that. So if I remove you, now Rust Analyzer is helping us out. Okay, that's what I needed to do. Okay, so creep move to. This function takes 2 arguments. One was supplied. It takes in this optional options. I don't really care about weighting things differently, so that way it can go choose exactly how to get there. So I'm going to pass in a none. Okay, get object prototype. Temporary value dropped while borrowed. Consider using a let binding to create a longer lived value. So probably it doesn't like doing like the entire unwrap and the first. So there we go. I'm going to go back to creeps and flags, and we'll just grab the first one out of here and then move to flag of 0. Cannot find, creeps and flags. And, you need to be a reference, and then you found a full one. So let's reference you. And that seems to work. Let's rebuild this. And back to Screeps Arena, and we'll hit play. Hey, and this time we passed. So if we watch this, here's our creep making its way over to the flag. Okay, so awesome. We were able to update our code. Let's do a little tiny bit of a refactor, because if we're going to continue building all of these different tutorials out, just having them all inside of main is probably not going to be really that great. Although, as you notice, if I have this feature here that kind of sort of works with, I mean, it definitely works, but Rust Analyzer is very upset about it, which is a little bit too bad. So it's almost like if I want Rust Analyzer's help, I need to make sure I don't have the feature active. Otherwise, we put that in there. So I'm going to now put this behind a feature flag, and let's go ahead and maybe like create a folder. We'll do like tutorials. We'll create like a mod.rs in there, and we'll have, what was the first one? It was simple. It was some, loop and import. Loop and import. So we'll have loop and import.rs. And then this new one is going to be simple move. Simple move.rs. Okay, so for library, we are going to mod tutorials. Inside of tutorials, we're going to pub mod loop and import, pub mod simple move. Okay, great. And then down, okay, so back to our library. If we're in loop and import, I just want to go into loop and import here and then tell it to run. So I'm going to have a public function run. I don't know if we need to return anything for this. I don't think we can really handle returns. So I'm just going to take the entire contents of you and throw you in here. And save away. Oh, you don't know what that warn is. Let's go ahead and use log warn. There's like a local one. Maybe that'll work. No, that's not. Oh, and it doesn't know this tick. So I want to also grab the tick out. So back to you. Let's grab this ticks here. So we need the game. Import Screeps Arena game. Okay, and we should be happy now. Okay, so I want to replace you with a run from, yeah, so we're going to do tutorials, loop and import, run. I want to do the exact same thing otherwise, but let's double check to make sure that this worked. We're going to go ahead and deploy back to tutorial 1 again. And I just want to rerun this. If it passes, then I'm happy. Error. The requested module arena does not provide an export named flag at... that worked for a second. So... oh! Request module arena does not provide an export named flag at... I wonder if they're giving us like a less thing because it's like part of this import. So when I have that behind a feature flag, that should actually solve that problem. Let's double check that right now. So I'll take you, put you here, come back to our cargo.toml. So for a simple move, you will no longer compile for the loop and import. Okay, let's try this again. So tutorial 1, rebuilt, that built correctly, play loop and import again. Passed. Okay, excellent. So we're good to go there. Now let's put everything from this main library into its own folder. So I'm going to copy you. We're going to go into simple move, function run, throw you in there. Now, okay, so import Screeps, get objects by prototype. We need to import prototypes. And that's it. So we just grab those back to the library, and we're going to replace you all with a tutorials, simple move, run. Okay, I don't see any errors here. Let's go back to our terminal. We'll now compile for tutorial 2. That worked. And let's run simple move again. And this should work. No need to go in and actually look at it. And it passed indeed. All right, so perfect. Next up will be attacking. But we'll work on that in next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye. Cool. Okay, so we got simple move, loop and import done. First attack is next. Oh, I should rename these files too as I'm creating them because it's going to be hard for me to remember. So that's actually this and my recordings. All right, so the first recording. Okay. 8:23 a.m. All right, so that first one was Screeps setup and loop and import. The next one was Screeps simple move. Next is going to be first attack. All right, let's just jump into it. Welcome back to Screeps with Rust, or Screeps Arena to be more precise with Rust. Okay, so in this one, we're going to go through and do first attack. So what is it asking us first to do? Well, it's letting us know, hey, this is a multiplayer PvP game. Now, if you do want a more PvE experience, but still the same exact thing, take a look at just Screeps as opposed to Screeps Arena. There you can download and install a sort of like the entire world on your local computer, not have to worry about anybody else, and just sort of like go off on your own. You can even install bots to play against if you want to. Maybe we can like go in and take a look at that later. I have some very old videos that sort of like go over that and sort of like run through like setting up a first room. I didn't really get very far with those videos. Maybe we can do that with Rust. That's a future idea. For right now, what we need to do is we need to grab all the creeps. We need to figure out which ones are ours, which ones are the enemy, and then we need to attack them. And then we need to check to see if we attempt to attack them, we're going to get an error response. If that response is telling us that we're not in range, then we just want to move to it and then just repeat that every single turn. So let's go ahead and get that set up. So like normal, we're going to start with, this is first attack. Tutorial first attack, which means before that, we want to go to Screeps Automl, duplicate you. You'll be tutorial 3. Destination is there. Branch is now first attack. And let's also make this features arena tutorial first attack. Okay, so that should be fine. We'll take you, go to cargo.toml, and add you as a feature here too. And because we set up our sort of like structure last time, let's add in here our first attack, rs, and mod it. And we can actually do our code inside of here. And in the main library, because we don't get any help from, well, actually, I wonder if that's true. If I do tutorials, first attack, run, are we going to get help inside of here? With Rust Analyzer, and then I want to see if we add in that after we add in the feature, are we then going to have the same sort of like problems, as it were? Okay, so first thing, we need to get all of our creeps, and then we also need to get all of our enemies' creeps. There's a couple ways that we can do this. First of all, we can just do exactly what they did here, which was they run get objects by prototype twice, and then they run a find command on it. Find essentially loops through, and then as soon as it finds something that matches the predicate here, it then returns and then it ends the loop. We could definitely do something like that. We could also just do get objects by prototype once and then just store like, hey, check to see if you're that one, go into like, this variable, otherwise go into this other variable. That would be more efficient. That would definitely be more efficient. I think what they're trying to show here is that there's this my property on the JavaScript creep object that we can check. If it's true, it means it's ours. And if it's false, it means it's definitely not ours and we need to kill it. So let's start with, now if I do this separately, I wonder if it's gonna have to be like a we know that we're gonna have one and our opponent has one. So let's do if I like set these up ahead of time, they'll have to be options, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's certainly kind of annoying too. If I do let like my creep equals, let's say we just do their way first, right? So get objects by prototype. Prototypes creep. Okay, this gives me a vector of creeps. I can convert this into an iterator. We could filter. I could do a filter or I can do a find, which is exactly the same thing that they had here. So I can just do a find. We have our predicate. We have our creep. And I want to return a true Boolean. If any of them return true, then find returns some element. So it's going to be an option that it gets out. If they all return first, it returns none. Okay, so this is not too bad then. So we'll do creep.my. Now here it's a method, it's a getter method to grab that object, which is going to be fine. Okay, so there we go. Now in this specific code, we're guaranteed to have a creep because it's a tutorial. So I can safely unwrap this. Now our enemy, after we kill it, that might not be so safe. And something to consider here. When this is running inside of a loop and it has no state. So every loop through, it runs this through again, it grabs it. We're always going to be there because tutorial us is never going to die. So let's do our enemy. It's going to be equals to also get objects by prototype. Prototypes creep. We can do this as an into iterator. We can also do a find, and I want creep to not be mine. So not creep.my. So that should be fine, but I don't want to unwrap because it's possible it can't find it. So after we kill it, there might be 1 or 2 frames that the game continues on, and I don't want any errors. So I'm just going to end like that. And so this one, we have an option. So if we have an enemy, we want to attack it. So we'll just do an if let. So if let some enemy equals our enemy. Then let's go ahead and attack it. So we'll do, but we can't just straight up attack it, right? If we take a look at their code here, we want to attempt to attack it. So if, and then we try to attack it, and then there's going to be this error code, error not in range, if we're not close to it. So we're going to do if attempt to attack it. So my creep, we're going to attack enemy. This is a reference. Then if that equals, there are these return codes here in a Screeps Arena. So we're going to do return code not in range. Okay, so if we are not in range, let's move to it. So my creep, move to enemy, and I don't really care about any move options. That should actually work. This should have us find ourselves, find the enemy, attack them, or move to them, and then attack them. So let's go ahead and recompile our code. So this is tutorial 3 now. Built. We'll head into here, hit play. Passed. And here we go. We move towards our creep and destroy it. So excellent. We were able to get first attack done. Now, is there any refactoring that we want to do? One experiment that I want to run with this, we have decent help here with Rust Analyzer. If I go back into lib.rs and I add this feature in now, so I want this to be the cargo.toml u. And if I go back into first attack, hit save, maybe like close you, open you back up again. Maybe if I do something else with enemy, like my creep dot I don't know, like let's try grabbing, let's see if we can grab flags again. It's like let flags equals objects by prototype, prototypes. It's helping. Yeah, and we get vec flag. Okay. I don't I wonder if it's because like it's in separate files now. So what this tells me is that I can now set up a Rust Analyzer to put everything behind that feature flag, and then it should just work for us, because as long as that feature flag is not inside of here, we're good to go. It is yelling at us and telling us that run is never used, but that's not really a problem, because it, I guess like that's the only thing. We get this warning that doesn't really exist. Talking about warnings, this warn is quote never being used. Let's just add this in here. So warn. Just to get that to go away, we're gonna actually, you know what? We aren't running warn in here, are we? I don't need you. So use log warn, that goes away. Get objects prototype and prototypes. Yeah, we aren't using that, so we can get rid of you. Oh, game, we do need game. So bring that in. Functions never used, run, run, and run, which is a little bit strange because we're definitely using it, but it's because we have those feature flags in here, which is like uh, kind of like it's just making it show up those warnings. So let's actually put in a flag here to tell it we don't really care. So we're gonna have this allow. What is this called? This is dead code, and that warning goes away. So let's do the same thing here. Allow dead code. And finally here. Allow dead code. There we go. No more warnings, no more errors. We're good to go. I can go ahead and save this, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. See you then. Bye. Hey, Dota. Yes, I was in recording mode for that. We're going through and doing the tutorial missions and creating a sort of like YouTube videos for those. I'm doing a little bit of a different experiment with these YouTube videos. I'm going to be trying to put in like, you know, the pre and the end in a video editor later on. So we'll see sort of like how that works. And any sort of like superfluous like problems or anything else I run into for those specific things, I'll probably cut those out. Or at least I'll try to cut those out. So we just did first attack. So next up is going to be Creeps Bodies. So you can invoke different creep function. Okay, so we're getting to the point where now I need to actually remember what to do with it, because the other ones were like super simple. But all right, let's get going with this one. Welcome back to the Screeps with Rust tutorial. We're on to tutorial number 4. Creeps Bodies. So let's go ahead, before we get into what this tutorial is, set up our code to handle this. So we are going to head into our screeps.toml. Okay, copy you. This is going to be tutorial 4. And branch is going to be Creeps Bodies. And we're going to make that the feature as well. And make you tutorial 4. And then for this feature, we want to bring that into cargo.toml. All right, so we got that set up. Let's actually head in and create their folder for this. Actually, just another file in this. This is going to be creeps bodies.rs and hub mod creeps bodies. Okay, so let's also go into the main library and add in a config. There's no run function there right now, but there will be. So we'll come into Creeps Bodies here, pub function run, and there we go. So now you should be happy. Run is showing that it's never, running, so we can then do an allow dead code to make you happy as well. So, okay, we're ready to go. If if I were to build this, want to sort of like take a look at what our goal is. So let's start by just building what we have and deploying that out. So this is tutorial 4. This wants us to objective, kill the enemy creep. And then just sort of briefly looking through this, it's telling us about there's different body types. Specifically, each body type gives it 100 hit points and becomes non-functional if the hits reduce down to 0 for that body type. Also, it attacks from left to right, which I think will become a little bit more clear when I get into the simulation and show what that looks like. We have 3 different creeps, 3 different ally creeps. Attack, ranged, attack, and heal body parts. You can only beat your opponent if you coordinate their actions. In order to do this, use the same approach from the previous tutorial step, but differentiate their actions based on their body parts. So we're going to have an attack a creep, which is a melee attack, a ranged attack, and a healer. Let's go ahead and press play with like nothing in there. We're obviously going to fail because we didn't do anything, but this is our setup. So we have our enemy, which looks like it's a healer. So if you look over here on the left, here's all the different body parts. It has 24 body parts, it looks like. Its hit points is 2,400. Each body part gives it that 100 hit points. And we're going to attack it. It always goes from top to bottom, left to right. So when we start attacking and doing damage, we're going to take out this heal body part first. Then it will stop healing itself. Then we'll take out it has its own ranged attack, which I'm actually kind of surprising that it doesn't attack us. And then it has a bunch of moves. Moves is basically how fast it can move. Okay, so we timed out after 101 ticks, so we should be good to go here. Now we have a single attack. You have a heal. Wait a second. Did you? Oh, look at that. Okay. It did a ranged attack to the closest enemy until it no longer had the ability to attack at all, which is interesting. So we need our healer, which is this green heal. We need our healer to heal up our attacker so that way it can still attack. Our ranger here has a ranged attack but is not in range. It needs to move in. So that's what we have to work with. So let's get this going. In creeps bodies, what are we going to do? We have to grab all of our creeps. And we have to grab our enemy creep too, don't we? So let's I guess like I'll just call them creeps for our creeps equals get objects by prototype. Prototypes creep. We'll do an into iterator. Now, what traits like? Do I really want to do like creeps like this, or I can have them in a different? I can actually have this done by a different, like create different variables for this. So what if I just do a for each? So if I do a for each, we'll grab each creep and then do something with that. So in this case, I'm going to want to move them out of here and inside of here. I wonder if that will let me do that. So, okay. Say I want to, so we have like a fighter. A fighter. Now we don't necessarily have this right now, so we could just do this as options. So I can assign it to none. So that fighter equals a none. These need to be mutable. Then I want a ranger. You are a none. And then a healer equals a none. Also, if for some reason the creep does start fighting back against us, we can, like, more than what it does right now, and it dies, then it won't be here anymore, and it will be a none. So we should probably handle that. Let's see. Now, can I, inside of this for each, assign out? Or am I going to have to use a more traditional for loop? Let's find out. So first of all, we want to detect if it's our creep. So we need our enemy too here. So let mute enemy equals a none. Okay, so first off, if the creep is not mine, so if not creep.my, we know this is our enemy. So I can now say enemy equals a sum with this creep inside. Okay, so you now know what that is. Great. Next up. Oh, I can then early return from this or continue. So let's just do return. Okay, next up. We know that these are my creeps because otherwise it would have assigned to the enemy. We need to check to see which one it is by looking in its body types. So we can, I believe, grab the body types out. So we can do creep.body. Body gives us a vec of body part. Okay, so now I need to maybe like loop through all of these body parts. So we can do another for each inside of that. Or I can just do like a reduce down. I can also maybe do like an assign, assign the creep with a type. I kind of like that, so I can now, I don't know if I want to like go out and like keep on creating like another loop inside of here without creating a function to sort of handle that. I kind of want to do something like this. I kind of want to say like, okay, match on the like get creep type, pass in this creep, really pass in the body, right? It's like generate the body from the creep, pass that in, and then go from here. But of course, it doesn't really know what this is because get creep type doesn't exist yet. So it's going to yell at me. So let's create a private function for this. So function get creep type. This is going to take in the body parts, which is a vector. If we go over here, it's a vector of body part. And we're going to return a, well, if you're matching a creep type, we need that creep type too, don't we? So we're going to do a enum creep type. It looks like we're going to have a fighter, ranger, healer. Okay, so I'm going to return a creep type. Okay, so we have this vector of body parts. We can loop through those, and then we'll return one of these things. I'm thinking of just a normal for loop so I can exit out of it early as soon as we find the first one that like makes sense to us. So we'll do a for body part in body parts. I think I can just take ownership of this here. I don't think that's really a problem. Okay, so body part is this type body part. So let's see what we got here. I can do an as string. I don't know if that's going to help. Part type. That might be helpful. Okay, so part type gives us a part. So I bet we can actually match on this. So let's try that. So we're going to match on body part type, fill the match arms, and here are all these. So if we reach this, we shouldn't ever get here. Let's do unreachable. At least I don't think we should ever get there. Also, if we get to this the end of this for loop, this should also be an unreachable state. All of these creeps should have a body part, so we should be fine there. Now, if it's a move, we just want to continue. We this is not the right body part that we're looking for. If it's a work, we want to just continue. If it's a carry, we want to continue. We don't care about all these things. Considering this, I actually want to now take this underscore, and we're just going to make this the continue and delete these. Okay, if it's an attack, you are a fighter, so we're going to return a creep type fighter. I can just do a return inside of here, can't I? Okay, so if you're a ranged attack, you're a ranger, so we're going to return creep type ranger. If you're tough, so if you have armor, we don't care about that. Anybody can have armor. If you're a healer, we're going to return creep type healer. Okay, so that gives us you. So we're going to match, fill the match arms. So now we can see, okay, we now know we're going to have fighter, ranger, and healer. Mismatch types, expected struck, vex, Screeps Arena, body part, found struct, body. Oh, objects. Look at that. Objects, impulse, creep, body part. This is what we're actually passing in. Interesting. Fail to resolve that. Okay, import objects. Oh, module impulses private. Okay, so I can't actually do that. Oh, can I just say that this vec impulse body part? I don't know if it's going to be happy with that. I might have to like expected trait found body part. There's probably like a body part trait also. But I'm not going to find it. So I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to take in a creep here. This can be a reference to a creep, so we don't take ownership. And then for body parts in, we can just do creep dot body. Oh, can I find creep in the scope? Let's pull in creep. Okay, so grab us the body, which gives us the body part. Everything is good here. Body part. Oh, you don't like that one. Part type now. No method name part type. Then let's also fix this here. This is now going to be a reference to the creep. Okay. Then with part type. And so like pausing a little bit. Kokma, hello. Also, Dota, have a good rest of your day. Thanks for lurking and stopping by. I am doing a recording for YouTube, so that's why I may not like respond to chat right away. But anyways, do you know some copy to clipboard button example written in U? No, I don't have that. I've used that kind of thing before with libraries. I think that there's an API available to you. It would probably have to be inside of what's the library where you get like the JavaScript API from JS WebSys or something like that. Gets you like all those APIs like created from that. That would be interesting to sort of like do and look into. So I don't know off the top of my head. So sorry about that. All right. Continuing on. Okay, so we have our body part here. No method, part type. Okay, so hold on. If I do body part, oh, part. That's why. I do part. That gives me a part. Everything else is the same, I believe. So now we come here to say, okay, if you're a fighter, what do I want to do? I want to then say fighter equals a sum creep. If you're a ranger, ranger equals a sum creep. And if you're a healer, healer equals a sum creep. All right, so decent amount of code. We haven't really done anything yet, but we got our creeps into specific little buckets for us to use. So now we need to like do the actual thing, right? So fighter, I want the fighter to fight, right? Like, so fighter, go to the enemy and attack them. And that's going to be the same thing with the ranger. So we can, I guess, like just constantly at this point in time, we'll just say fighter, if fighter dot attack. Oh, this is all going to be an if lets, because the first frame, possibly the first few, maybe, I don't know how long these take, and they may or may not be asynchronous. We don't have access to our creeps. This is all going to have to be under if lets now. So if let sum fighter equals fighter, then send them to the enemy, right? So like we do that, which means we also need to grab the enemy out of an if let too, because that's part of this. So all right, so we have if let sum fighter creep equals fighter. I mean, I guess like one thing we can check right away is if we don't have an enemy, we don't need to do anything anymore whatsoever. So to make it a little bit safer to unwrap this, I can even shadow this, can't I? We can say let enemy. So I'm going to shadow the enemy and change its type around. So at this point, enemy is now going to be just a creep. So equals if let sum enemy equals enemy. This is fun. This is great code. I'm promise. It's perfect. Okay, so if let sum, so if it's an option that has something in it, we get the enemy out here, and I just return that enemy, and it becomes this creep. Otherwise, we're going to do an early return because we're done. Like if there's no enemy in here, we don't need to do anything else. And so any line past here is now guaranteed to have this enemy exist. So now I can just check to see if we have a fighter. If the fighter exists, then I can just say fighter dot if fighter dot attack a reference to the enemy. If that is a return code, not in range, then fighter move to the enemy and don't care about moving options. Okay, so that's our fighter. So move to that. We want to do exactly the same thing for our ranger. So ranger. It's not going to be attack. This is now going to be ranged attack. But other than that, it's going to be exactly the same thing. So ranger, range attack, the target. If you're not in range, move towards that target. So we'll go to barely within range and just start attacking there. Okay, that's great. Now, last up, we have our healer. So healer's going to be a little bit different, right? Because we healers actually strangely have several different sort of methods of healing for this. We can just do a bonk our head against the other creep, and that's one method of healing. So a melee heal. We have a ranged heal that heals for less, but allows you to stay a little bit farther away and out of danger. And then there's a group heal, which will heal everything within a certain radius. I wonder if we can try that. And we just sit here and do different types of heals. So I have heal, ranged heal. What else do I have here? Heal, ranged heal. What is that other one called? Ranged mass attack. Is there a ranged mass heal? Oh, I only see a ranged heal, not like a ranged mass heal. Okay, so one thing we can do, we can go to the documentation inside of Screeps here and take a look to see what we can find. So under creep, so here's attack, requires the attack body part. So we're going to look for things regarding heal. Okay, so we have heal. That's going to be the melee heal. Actually, there's a list of these methods here on the left. Ranged heal. Oh, there's only a ranged mass attack. Okay, so never mind. Our ranger can just attack everything in range all at once, which is a very small damage, but hits everything all at the same time, which is really nice. So we could do a ranged heal. Does a little bit less heal, but it can be out of danger. So I kind of like the idea of doing a ranged heal for this. The other thing is, who are we going to heal? Right now, we did notice that the fighter is damaged first, but that doesn't mean that as soon as we heal the fighter, that another, it won't attack like the ranger next, or it won't attack itself. So having it loop through check. all of our fighter, our ranger, and our healer. Check them to see, are you damaged? Do you need help? So let's check priority wise. I want to see if the let's see, should it heal itself if it's damaged first? Maybe, like, take care of yourself first. So let's create a function here. For function is let's see, has been hurt. Has been hurt. This is going to take in a reference to a creep and return just a Boolean. So the way we can tell if a creep has been hurt or not is there's a max hits and a hits. So we can return creep dot hits. This gives us a U32, and then there's a max hits. So if hits is less than our max hits, so it's less than creep dot max hits, then we know that we've been injured in some way. So we can check here for our healer if if we have a fighter. So another if let here. So if let some fighter, hit page down by accident. Okay, so if let some fighter equals fighter. All right, so we have one here now. If you have, okay, so if has been hurt, pass it in a, now I don't necessarily want to take ownership of this. I'm going to reference you. So I can pass in the fighter here. So if you have been hurt, then I want to now attempt to heal you. So we'll do healer dot heal. We can do this as like another attempt here. So like if healer dot heal, our target is the fighter. If that equals to return code not in range, then I want to move to. So healer dot move to, and this is the fighter, and the none for the option. I need to do this for the ranger and obviously for itself too. We have this like range attack. It's the same thing here. So we have like ranged attack and attack. Those are slightly, subtly different. However, I need to do the heal one twice with like the heal or move too. So I kind of want to do another function again. So function heal and move, like heal or move. We'll take in ourself. So we'll have the healer, which is a reference to a creep. And then we'll have the target, which is a reference to a creep. And I don't really need to like keep any of this. So we'll do a if healer dot heal our target, if that equals return code not in range, then healer move to target none there. So you should be fine. So we can now do heal or move. So if has been hurt, if has been hurt, I just want to do heal or move, pass in the healer, pass in the target, which in this case is the fighter. Okay, great. Next up, we'll do if let sum ranger equals our reference to the ranger, and if has been hurt, we'll get our fighter here, ranger here. Then heal or move, the reference to the healer, and the target is the ranger. Okay, excellent. Now ourself, if we have been hurt, so if has been hurt ourself, so a reference to the healer. If we have been hurt, we want to just heal ourselves, which is we never need to move to it. This will always succeed. So we can just do a healer dot heal. Target is a reference to healer. What are you upset about? Borrow partially moved fighter. Partially moved occurs. We can also clone them. That would work. Borrow this field in a pattern to avoid moving. Fighter.0 on line 33. If let some fighter... This is all inside of the run. So if let some fighter creep. Oh, I can just reference you. Oh, that'll be fine too. Come on. Select you. We'll reference you and healer reference you. That'll be fine. All right, no errors. Let's see now if our fighter attacks, our ranger attacks, and our heals intelligently. And now it doesn't automatically run this again. We need to tell it to run again. So back to here, we'll hit play. See if we we failed. Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to rebuild. We need to recompile. So rebuild, compile, target number 4. Let's try this again. Passed. 67 ticks. Let's watch the replay here. Our warrior attacks, and our ranger is fighting back, and our healer helped a little bit, but then we just took out any ability for the opponent to fight back, and now it's just knocking down its hit points and taking it out. And there we go. It is dead. And no errors because it looks like it goes 1 tick beyond when we kill them. But because we're handling the possibility of not having an enemy, that's fine. We don't get any panics or any errors or anything like that. So that gives us tutorial number 4, creep bodies, where we loop through all the creeps. We figure out what type of creep it is based upon what capabilities it has, and then just murder an enemy which kind of sort of attacks us once. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. All right. It is 10:30. Normally I've been going till 12 with these streams, but today being Father's Day here in the US, I don't know if it's Father's Day everywhere. Is it? But I need to take care of some things. I need to go, sort of like similar to Dota, I need to go buy some stuff. Call my parents, say hi, do a bunch of chores, and I want to give myself a little bit of time this afternoon. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream a little bit early today. I've got some videos that we've recorded. I'm going to, let's see, we did 4 of them. So this next one was, what was that? That was simple move. That was simple. No, we already did simple move. We did loop and import, simple move. Oh, we did first attack. So that was first attack. And then this other one is um creep bodies. Screeps bodies. Okay. I will be seeing like experimenting with like cutting these up and actual doing just like it's not going to be anything special, just like bare minimum editing, but I want to start like slowly getting myself into that world and sort of like experimenting with that. And sort of like I feel something like this is an excellent way to sort of like play around with it. Now it is Sunday, so tomorrow's back to Monday again. It is a national holiday in the US, but I still have it as a work day. So I will not be able to celebrate Juneteenth, which is basically celebrating the end of slavery in the United States, which is super good that we finally started celebrating that, which is nice. I still have to go to work though, so I'll do a stream, but it'll only be for like the normal hour before I head off to work. And that will be what it is every single weekday next week, Monday through Friday. So with that, have a great rest of your Sundays. Have a great Father's Day. Say hi to your fathers, and if you have one. And I will see you all next time. Bye.